here at MAASAI University, as Center of Excellence, the School of Tourism and Natural Resources and Hospitality have its strengths that provide competent staff and personnel in areas of wildlife, sustainable tourism, and animal health. Examples are in the Department of Animal Health and Production. We have been mentoring and exposing paravets to animals' welfare and issues emerging. One, health concerns such as antimicrobial resistance. We strive to have community outreach in the region and look forward to collaboration, especially in the mass deworming and vaccination programs. Number two, the Department of Wildlife Management inculcates sound animal welfare and awareness issues by mainstreaming such issues in our curriculum. Our students and graduates are exposed to wildlife concerns through active engagement, talks like this one, policy design and implementation. We hope to have more links to your activities. Department of Tourism and Hospitality is instilling understanding of wildlife welfare and promotion of good water-based tourism practices. Also, they give us a data food for this industry. We also have student clubs, animal welfare clubs, wildlife and tourism clubs that mainstream welfare and sustainable wildlife practices. And this is in line with the World Animal Protection Objectives. And with those few or many remarks, I declare this meeting open and request Mr. Professor Abela to come forward. Welcome, my brother. That years is not a main benefit that isn't from. I'm saying I've known you for that years.
Yes, thank you, Prof. Yeah, we were undergraduates together with Professor Bulu, so we're just young people. He was doing wood science and technology, I was doing zoology. So you can see what we talk about. So we met again in 2015 here. We were recruited the same day. God is Africa tied together. So without saying much, I know we have a long program. I would just like to welcome the team that is promoting the welfare of animals to MAASAI University to engage with our students. So my first remark would be that I hope this is not a one-off engagement. This should actually be a beginning of more sustainable engagement. To an extent that moving forward, our students will be able to find opportunities through, for example, the projects you are doing, especially students doing wildlife management, the ones doing tourism. So I would just like to reiterate that indeed this is a very relevant topic at this point in time. At no time actually have animals experienced persecution like they are doing now. Trafficking in animals, whether whole animal or animal parts, is actually now a multi-billion-dollar business. Okay, so all animals, from mammals to birds to reptiles, even fish, is a big industry now where people are illegally trafficking animals, especially from Asian countries. So creating this awareness is very important. Then my third remark is that this awareness is also important because if we look at it in terms of a One Health approach, animals are actually now playing a very important important role in, let's say, spreading of diseases. So when we talk about the environment, we talk about human health, and we talk about animal health. We need to look at the animal health because we don't want humans to transmit diseases to them, and we also don't want animals to transmit diseases to animals. So this awareness is really important. So with those few remarks, again, I would like to welcome this team to MAASAI University. I hope our students will get a fruitful discussions on this and create networks that are sustainable and that we can moving forward and actually be able to benefit. So thank you very much. Those few remarks again, I welcome everyone to this meeting.
Okay, thank you very much for thank you very much for the welcoming remarks by Professor Guru. Now, the next session, because of interest of time, and in that regard, one of the objectives of this particular meeting is to raise awareness among students on what we call factory farming and the impact factory farming has on animal welfare and how that also affects human beings as well as the environment where we live. So I think that is key, and that will fall within the remit of presentation that Dr. Momani is going to give on global food systems. Then we are also going to look at, we also need to raise awareness of the cruelty that animals are facing, especially when they are being traded as commodities. And I think in that regard, we are talking about trafficking of wild animals, exporting of wild animals to Asia, especially China and Southeast Asia, where their parts are used for traditional Chinese medicine. Because in China or Southeast Asia, they believe that lion bones are good. That when you drink either, there's a concoction they use, they make out of lion bones, and they feel that makes them stronger, and also they become like a lion. Although there's no scientific proof that when you take lion bone concoction, that you become like you become a lion. That's just a negative narrative that for us as organization, we want to dispel so that we can protect our lion. So the other objective of this particular meeting, I think for us as an organization, we're also introducing ourselves to MAASAI University, management as well as student fraternity, to help us work together to see how we can collaborate towards animal protection. And then we also expect, also need to introduce, we have a new strategy, a global strategy, 2021 to 2030, a strategy that we call a new world for animals. We'll also give you a bit of introduction to that so that you can see what is this new strategy and how does it fit within this particular decade. We are also going to talk about that. And in that, we are building a movement for people to protect animals. And we want students to be part of that process. Because our mission is to move the world to protect animals. We move the world to protect animals. It's not we as well as protection, but it is, we have students, we have universities, we have other institutions, we have governments across the world. So we work as a team, because for it to be a movement, it must bring together diversity and the different professional expertise. And in that regard, we are also here to notice students doing. Are you ready to do our movement? Are you ready to do that? I think we are going to, Ian, just stand up here. He's our digital content officer, and he's going to help you through that process. We have an SMS platform that is going to lead you how you're going to register so that you join our movement, you become part of our animal protection family, so that we can move the world to protect animals. And take that message back to your city. Don't just sit with it, you also need to share it out with other people. And I think finally, we also want to see, are there opportunities where we can either collaborate, we can work together as one animal protection in the MAASAI Mara University. And Professor Bull, I think you mentioned probably an opportunity of attachment or something like that. Those are areas that we can work together, because currently we have a volunteer program that is currently under development. So that will give you an opportunity maybe to work with us and so that we can protect animals. So in that regard, I think I will stop there, but because of also interest of time, I will invite my colleague, Dr. Momani Kelvin, to take us through the next presentation on global food systems. And I would request you to pay attention. It's an interesting topic, an interesting area that you should, I believe, you'll be able to enjoy, and you'll see the need as to why we need to ask governments to put a moratorium or ban on industrial livestock production systems. So, Dr. Momani, please, the floor is yours. Karibu.
Thank you so much, Rafael. Habari yenu. Habari tena. So I just want to take you through a very short or medium journey of our work, and it will be engaging and interactive. There will be some prizes to be won if you answer questions and you are attentive. Okay. So my name, that's already done. So who we are? We are a global organization working across 14 countries, but we have worked in this space of animal welfare for the past 50 years. Our work is promoting high welfare across the world. Our vision is to foresee a world where animals live free of cruelty and suffering. This work, we cannot do it alone. That's why our vision is we move the world to protect who? Animals. The we there means that we are working with governments, we are working with the youth, the students, the lecturers, so that we can foresee that world where it is free of cruelty and suffering. Those are our social handles on Twitter, which you can use to tweet on Twitter is #ChangeLivesForever. It is a very important hashtag that we have formulated for this year because we want to foresee a new world for animals. We are also available on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn at World Animal Protection Africa. So, my colleague Rafael mentioned that this year we launched our global strategy, and our global strategy is focused in creating a new world for animals. Why is this key for us? It is because, you can just give us this. Just give us this. How many chickens do you think are slaughtered? Yes. Billions, correct. They are in tunes of billions. So that's why we are focused on the two goals. The goal one, it is to ensure farmed animals live good lives. Okay? Then goal two, which my colleague will present, will be we want to foresee whereby wildlife live free. Okay? They are not in enclosed spaces. The food system strategy is focused on 3 intervention areas. And these 3 intervention areas are no future for factory farming, creating a food revolution, and fairer finance. Let me elaborate on that. We want to expose the problem. Which is the problem? Is that the animals are actually suffering behind doors. Okay? They are in cramped spaces. We're going to see some photos going forward. We enable solutions. What do we mean? We work with you. We work with government so that they can be able to put in policies
or frameworks that ensure that animals have the best lives possible. We are also pushing financial institutions, so welfare. High welfare are those production systems that satisfy two criteria. Criteria one is that they are sustainable. Whatever resources they are using, the students are doing resource management here. Senior, one of them can they define for me the term, what is sustainable? What do you mean when you say using resources sustainably? Yes.
Thank you. Basically, sustainable means we are using these resources in a way that the present generation will use it and the future generation will also use it. So we are not compromising the ability of the future generation to use the same resource. Thank you.
That's amazing. Using resources where they are best available for others to utilize it, isn't it? I told you two things needs to satisfy. It needs to be sustainable and it has to be humane. Humane means that you are giving the animals a good life. And lastly, we are using people-powered campaigning. Our work, we believe that to bring change in the world, we have to work with people. Unajua watu wakisema tunataka hii, si watu hata government inasikizana, si ni kweli? And that's the reason why we are coming for people so that they can be able to voice out their concerns. That is the problem we are focusing on. The photo on your right, do you think that photo was taken in Kenya or not? I want to hear feedback. Do you think that photo was taken in Kenya or not? That is a poultry house with 96,000 broilers. Somebody just to guess, is it in Kenya or not? Yes? Yes or no? It is in Kenya, isn't it? Very good. Most of the people I ask, they say we don't have factory farms in Kenya, whereby you keep poultry within an enclosure that is fully ventilated. Okay? There is no natural light coming in. There is no inflow of air into the house. It is fully ventilated. Alright? We have such houses in Kenya where animals are kept in billions globally, as our colleague mentioned it, okay? They are put, so these animals grow very fast. What happens if you grow very fast while your skeleton is very weak? There was a biology student who was in here. Where is he or she? Please give me an answer. What do you think will happen? Putting on weight very quickly, but with a very weak skeleton. All the animal health students can answer that question. Anyone to give out? Every answer is a right answer, okay? One trial? Yes, no, you already answered. I want someone else. Who wants to try?
There is the danger of suffering fractures.
Exactly. There is a danger of that animal having what? Fractures. See, you are growing very quickly, putting up more weight, but with a very weak skeleton. Then you bring about fractures. Pain comes in there. Stress comes in there. With stress, then you are prone to what? Diseases. See, typical example, when there is cold, what do humans normally see? We see a rise in what? In flu. True or false? Because with cold, then it provides a very nice microclimate for that particular virus. Stress, then you're more prone to what? To infection. Use of cages is the other problem we are foreseeing in this country. Painful procedures, here we mean like beating the animals, tail docking, cutting off the tails, okay? And when you do that, remember, it is humans who are doing that for their own satisfaction. But by so doing, then the animal can become infected, then they need to be treated. With treatment of the animal, then there's a risk of having what? Residues in that meat if you do not observe the withdrawal period, then that can facilitate antimicrobial resistance. What you foresee in the last statement as food safety and superbug crisis. I want you to remember this word, giggle. There was an IT person in here, or somebody is doing an IT course. What's giggle? Garbage in, garbage out. Giggle. Garbage in, garbage out. That's a very important statement. Why? In animal production, when you're producing your animal, if you give it safe and high quality inputs, you also get safe and high quality outputs. Correct? So if you feed your animal unsafe water, unsafe food, then your product becomes a risk to humans, becomes a public health risk. Okay? When you feed your animal high quality water, high quality food, then you get better products out of it. That's another photo that was taken in Kajiado. The ones on the right and the one on the top left, that's the same household. So the top left is from the outside, the top right is in the inside of that particular household. That's the cages, where the birds, all those are layers, are produced within cages. And farmers believe that actually by you producing in such a way, it is more efficient and it is cleaner. All right. But our studies, our research has actually shown us when you do produce your birds in such a way, that bird, remember, it is in a space that is equivalent to this A4 size paper. Naturally, what will a bird do? This one anybody can answer. Umeshaona kuku, si ndio? Akitembea anafanyaga nini? Inatafuta chakula, okay? It pecks, it scratches, it jumps, it stretches. Very true, so you've seen that. But within that confinement, that bird is not able to explore its natural abilities. It can stretch, it can jump. Why are these important to the bird? Why is it important for a poultry to stretch, to run, to jump, and even to sunbathe? Yes.
All that contributes to its overall welfare.
All that contributes to its overall welfare. Very important answer. Someone else? Why is that important to the bird? Yes, give a response.
It can be a
Contributes to its normal physiology and function. Okay? So when the bird runs, when it jumps, it's actually building its muscles. That is why you'll notice a bird that is confined, a broiler, na ile kuku ya kienyeji, ni gani inakuanga na nyama tamu? Have you asked yourself why? Muscular. So my computer's gone off. Sorry about that. Let me just plug in. I'm taking you back to the basics, because if you understand the basics so well, then you'll be able to appreciate why we are championing for animal welfare. You'll be able to see the link between the welfare of the animal and your public health safety. Okay? You have a response. Let's see.
in a case of a chicken, maybe you see those which are mostly the dark. Their skins are usually white. But the one exposed to the light, it's kind of red. It's kind of healthy.
So it is be active, then to look for food and water. Exactly. Light makes the bird to be active so that it can be able to find opportunities to find food and water. A very good response there. Also, animals require rest. Rest helps you to regenerate. It helps you to even boost your immunity when you are resting. Just go and read more about it. The same applies to an animal, okay? That interface between darkness and light is very key. One, the light enables the animal to explore its environment, to eat, to feed, and to grow as you wish it to be, okay? Darkness also enables that animal to be able to utilize and synthesize that food for its own utilization, okay? Yeah. Now, when animals are kept in those cramped spaces, so we are now painting the picture of a factory farm. So the factory farm is where so many animals are kept in small confined spaces, okay? Then these spaces are cramped. In cramped, so space requirements for poultry, if it is a broiler, our recommendation is 30 kilograms per meter square. If you calculate in Africa, so that is comes to if a normal bird will have 1.5 or let's say 2 kg, it means that within a meter square you need to have how many birds? 15. 12 to 15 birds. If you have so many birds within a very small space, it simply means that they are going to even fight for the food that you're giving them. They are going to fight for the resources you are making available to them, feed or water, okay? So that's why even the space requirement for the bird is very key. So, now, so if we say cages are not, they are low welfare, for instance, therefore what is the alternative system that we are pushing for? The alternative system, it is the deep litter system. That's number one. Deep litter ni ile kuku wamewekewa chini, ununua something like hay, which is very expensive for you maybe as a farmer, okay? Or for someone within your local area. Our recommendation, utilize whatever is available to you. Kama wewe kuna zile wood shaving, utilize what you have, all right? The other alternative system that has also been shown to work, it is free range. If you have the land, that's the other also alternative that you can be able to utilize of keeping poultry in the outside. Okay, it's coming up. And that was very good example that I was to ask you. So looking at the number 1, 2, and 3, this is a factory farm. Yes. Number 2, why do you think so?
If you look at the number of the chicken, yeah, so many items compare with the number 1 number 3. Number 3 is a village and number 1 is
Very good. Thank you. Now, there's a difference between animal rights and animal welfare. Most of us talk about that let's give rights to animals. So what is the difference? Rights have a very strong stand about the use of animals. They say you cannot use the animal even for food. Hata kuku kupatia mayai, wanasema kuwa haustahili kula hiyo mayai ya nini? Ya kuku. That is animal rights. While animal welfare, which we have championed before, it seeks to use the animal, utilize its products, but ensure you're giving that animal the best life possible. Okay? Give the animal its own shelter, give it food, okay? Let it explore its natural environment. That is the key difference between animal rights, those who are championing for animal rights, and those who are championing for animal welfare. So as wildlife protection, we are championing for animal welfare. When we work, we help organizations governments, even including institutions like yourselves, even if doing curricula. So we have animal welfare frameworks that we can share with you. They are called farms. Farms include these farm animal responsible minimum standards. Those are the bare minimum that a farmer needs to meet, or a producer needs to meet, or a country needs to meet to be able to promote animal welfare. But we don't do this alone. We also work with everyone to be able to champion for this. These are some of the publications that we do develop, or we have done reports. Like the far right, the far right, sorry, the far right is the pecking order report. What it does, it ranks companies. So these are like QSRs, fast food restaurants, supermarkets, other retailers, on their publicly available information on their commitment to animal welfare. Okay, that report is actually available on the internet. You can be able to see. So this is how we help other companies so that they can be able to commit high welfare. A question for you: have you come across any welfare issue either at home, in a farm, on the road? And you share with us. Let me get two people from here and two people from here to give me the experiences. Something that you come across that is an animal welfare issue or concern. Yes.
Okay, good morning once again. Okay, I'm not directly researching, but I used to see these videos YouTube, especially in the pork industry and pork farm. They're like people used to sleep with cameras like in their chest so that they cannot be noticed. And as the company is there, they don't allow people just to come and check out or check in. So I experienced even source farming, like in a small community, 2 minutes. Then in the procedures, ya kukata mahindi to wall, and then wana conclude na kusema how they bring out farms like wana kusema like how their pork is good, they are very well branded, but inside wana comment wanasema, so mwenye merekodi anasema like kuna haja gani kulinyama and then by the way kwa hizo zenye naleta nyama ya like for but time ndio niliona just